Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you're absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be doing like a fusion of the stream and market update, but around about this time in the day. Just getting the link for the community ready, so if they need to ask any questions, then I am available. Okay, almost done. Okay, I think that's all set up. Let's get into the market update. I've changed the coloring of the charts to white, as when I try to show a friend the image of what was happening on the higher frame, like for someone who didn't really know too much about crypto, he freaked out because he couldn't really see anything. So the white is better just for mobile devices and such. It's clearer to see what's happening. Alrighty. So there's been a move on the high time frames to go from that resistance arc to this resistance arc. The question is, confirmed turning point, or I don't know, potential continuation to there. The 2048 is the highest time frame I have access to, so I can't really see what the transition looks like on the whatever the 80 something something, like the 80200 or 8200 minutes, whatever that looks like. So it's unclear if this is the turning point where my mouse is circling, or if it's going to go further up. For the time being, what we do know is that price is beyond the recent high, which makes it a higher high and putting us into uptrend. So what does uptrend mean to us? Well, if we go into the rest of the cycle, which is now 7, 8, 9, and then 10 and so forth, I don't want to get too far ahead over there, we're going to get a higher lows. And higher lows means higher highs. So once that's all underway, you should see Bitcoin surpass 120,000, which is quite exciting for those like some of the guys in my community and the girls in our community that bought Bitcoin when I told them to buy Bitcoin when it was $17,000, and yeah, it's now almost $120,000. So thank you for listening. You are now part of the strongest asset class on the planet, with the most exponential growth across all industries. Nothing has grown like this. Unless nothing's gone. I mean, from $200 to $2,000 to $20,000 now to $120,000 in like a decade. I don't know what else has grown as large as Bitcoin has. So you're part of the number one asset class on the planet, unless I'm proven wrong, which I don't think is the case. The great thing about this is that it's the sustainable largest asset class as well. So maybe there was a pump and a dump on like GameStop or something to that effect, but that was overnight and fleeting. In comparison, this is staying strong and steady, and also going to go up and up because of the limited supply of Bitcoin eventually. Again, I'm not interested in where it will end up. All I'm interested in is the transitions between, because I believe that cash isn't king, cash flow is king. It's always fun to get paid out a big lump sum at the end, but it's about paying the bills and living off the markets in between that one major payout that actually makes the difference in people's lives. And that's why trading and buying and selling in line with trend and such is more important to me than Bitcoin reaching 1 million one day. Anyway, let's move on to the 512. I'm not really comfortable with, like as I made mention to, these flat sections. It can be quite agitating as there's mislabeling that could throw us off. So what we could see over here is a 3 down to a 4. Yeah, well, let's just go with that. So this is what a quick fire setup would look like. I'll give it a bit of room, I suppose. What's always good is to confirm our work with the protractor. That's convincing, the first option. There is about a week difference, about 2 or 3 days difference between those 2 points. So I don't necessarily think we need to get too carried away with whether or not it's there or there. Should this be a confirmed turning point and price head on down, then whether or not it's there or there, it's almost immaterial. With that said, we still could potentially be in an uptrend until this is confirmed as a turning point down. We don't have a switch on the oscillator over there, so we could still be heading up, which means that the moves over here will be short and then back up again. And for those reasons, I think I'm going to just give us a conservative forecast for the time being. We can update it as we go, as I don't want us to think that we're going to go down and down and down and then switch around, and then it actually just goes quite a shallow little bit, creeps across, and then goes back up again, because that's how our stop losses get hit. I'm just having a look as to where the price is still to go over here. And if it hasn't hit a turning point, then it could be one of these 3 areas. There's no point in kind of getting too excited about which one of them it is. Again, mostly my eyes are on what's happening at the 2048. That's the 2 hours quite open over there, so I don't necessarily want to get too carried away as to which turning point it is. I'm just getting the general idea that the 512 is quite strongly suggesting a move down. So is the 128. The 2048 we're unsure about just yet, so we're going to wait for these other ones to figure themselves out. And then here on the 32 minutes, 5 is trying to find its anchor point. And it is quite frustrating, because I thought there was a 5 forming yesterday. So I was looking for short opportunities in terms of my AI forecasts, and instead, by looking at the 32-minute chart, I was getting more bias than anything, and I made some losses because I was going in trend with this chart where it actually just stopped, turned around, and then went back up again, which was extremely frustrating. There seems to be some desire for the market to turn and move up here. We obviously gotta wait for our confirmations, but in terms of time forecasting, it looks good, as well as oscillator switch opening down for that final move. It's in line with the sine wave. It's on arc 5 and the 1/2 as well. So a strong potential as a turning point. We just got to see whether or not it works out as such. Okay, so not the ideal time to trade. I would be responsible to kind of hang back because we had a kill zone here on the 32 minutes, which is one of the better charts to trade. However, I mean, it is Friday, and liquidity does like a Friday because obviously the weekend's not fun to trade. So I think a lot of people get the trades in now. So should this be a confirmed turning point, then the region in which we should expect the next turning point, the next high to form, will be in this white area here where the mouse is circling. So I'm just going to put a marker there for the time being as, oops, it is above the recent high and the low is above the recent low and the high is above the recent high. So ziggity zag, up it goes. Okay, so that's the market update. Let's get a bottom line on this. Waiting for confirmation on the dominant trend direction. There's been quite an extensive run up from about 70, call it 80,000 to 111,000. So that's a 30,000 increase. Pretty decent. Well done, Bitcoin. That's insane, just by the way. A $30,000. Like, if you think of the price of the Dow Jones or you think of the price of gold, I mean, they've been hovering, give or take, around $3,000-$4,000 for the longest time. I mean, that's like the all-time high kind of stuff. In the last month, Bitcoin's rallied $30,000. Isn't that insane? I think so. Okay, I'm going to fire up my laptop so I can see if there's any questions on the chatty thing. Doesn't have to be, but in case there are, let me try answer one or two. And then we'll get into the streaming portion of the AI. Which I'm currently training another model on right now. I gotta say, I'm very grateful to ChatGPT for being as frustrating as it was whilst coding the AI models, because for sure, if the AI models were as good as they are now, I don't think I would have, well, actually, I should say, for sure, I would not have learned as much as I did along the way. So I'm really grateful for starting over 2 years ago with the AI stuff. Again, because if it was now, I would just take advantage of how good the AI is and probably not learn from our mistakes, etc., and know as much as I do. And the reason I bring this up is because ChatGPT for a while is something I've been advocating and kind of strongly behind for a long period of time. However, after getting to work with superior, like truly superior AI models, I'm going back to the AI models that are cool. Oh, nice. Hello. Oh, wrong keyboard. Mr. Manor Hard, bro. It's been a while. How are you? Hope you're good. Okay. Alrighty, so my point being is that ChatGPT is not the best. I thought it was great. It was better than the options at the time. But where I am now is realizing that the models that are available these days are quite a bit more impressive. And therefore, I'm getting to train all of the old models that I had again in a much better way. And this means that everything that I had going for me, which I thought was great back then, let me try kind of just show you what it looks like to train a model on the back end, is now being trained again, but smarter, better, more modernized, without the kind of garbage that I've had to endure because of outdated technology such as ChatGPT. So that's exciting, and I think why this is relevant is because as I'm testing these my models out and beta testing them in live market conditions, it's going to get easier and easier to work with the architecture of the AI models almost on like a daily basis if I need it to be that way, because the AI evolution is so fast and so hard right now that new technologies are being released every other week and like groundbreaking stuff. So with that said, this is a new style of model that is being trained, and so I want to get this to work next week. Until that's kind of trained, let's go back to what we know and just set the markets up. Okay, what I'm thinking is I want to stop this stream and then get to setting up the markets so that the setup isn't necessarily just takes up time, and then we can get straight into the content of the AI forecasts once everything is set up. So I'm going to stop this stream and then I'll start another one once I'm ready to go live again with the new content.